Okay, we got the 2-minute warning. Board members could turn on your mics, please. Check 1, 2.
Okay. Thank you. More questions. Oh, really?
If you move over one chair, you can both have new ones. Okay, we flipped over to 6:30. I'll call the November meeting to order here. Let's all stand and we'll have a pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So before we get started, today is Veterans Day. Do we have any veterans here with us? Would you stand to be recognized, please? Anybody that's been in the service? Alex?
Yeah.
Anybody else? Fred? Yeah, I thought you served. No? Mr. Gann? No? No? Alex, thank you for your service, sir. Welcome.
Thank you.
I've learned something tonight. Okay. First order of business is to approve the minutes of the October 14th meeting. Have my members had a chance to read those that were sent out in the email?
Yes.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve these.
Motion.
From Russell, can I get a second?
I'll second.
Jenny? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. And submitted for re-signing is the September minutes. Did we forget to do it last time, or did it not make it to you, or
It didn't make it in that folder. so
didn't make it
get
into the folder?
signed. Yeah.
Okay. They were voted on. Okay, there are no cemetery deeds. All that leaves is the adjustments and the payroll vouchers. Have my board members had a chance to review these documents that were presented in the email? Entertain a motion that we approve the adjustments,
I'll make the motion.
payroll vouchers, and monthly bills. We have a motion from Jenny. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second from Glenn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Okay, Matt, if you want to come on up to the podium. Commonwealth update is next.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Council. Matt Worth with Commonwealth Engineering. Just a quick update. I believe everyone received in your packets our update, our monthly update on the project. I'll be glad to answer any questions on it. I didn't want to actually have to read it to you unless you want me to. I know you're more than capable of doing that. So the good news, one of the milestones we finally are ready to meet, and I have our notice to proceed tonight for the contractor's portion. November 13th will be our official start date for the wastewater project for the contractor. So one thing I would like to ask tonight is if we could have approval that Brian go ahead and sign the notice to proceed for the contractor to get started on November 13th. So that is one item I'd like to ask if you guys would consider tonight.
Should we put that in the form of a motion? We go ahead
That'd be in
and
the form
approve.
of a motion, and it's consistent with the general terms that are contract that's previously approved.
Okay. I get a motion that I would can sign the notice to proceed for the contractor for the sewer project, please.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Second from Russell. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you, sir.
I know I've got a couple, or I know Gloria's got one too so whatever you want to, I've got one for us and one for you guys.
There you go.
Be glad to answer any other questions you might have. Try to. This was a big milestone. I know
I don't have any other than when is our next update meeting?
the 14th, I believe the day after they start, November 14th.
So it's yet this week.
Yep, it'll be this week. And as always, everyone is welcome to attend that council. And so I think those have been going along pretty well.
Time on that meeting?
Same, so 1 p.m.
Yeah,
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Billy, on a health insurance renewal for the town employees.
I think everybody has a copy in front of you, so your renewal come back at about 11.25% to go with pretty much the exact same plan that you had last year. We did give you a couple of alternate renewal options. One was Anthem, one was United Healthcare. You can see there is a slight decrease in the what your new cost would be. Differences, deductibles do go down. that your out-of-pocket maximum will go up if you go to that alternate plan. The primary care will go up as well. And really, if you look at it, you're going from one to the other, about 3% decrease going down with that deductible. Personally, I think I would have this conversation with your employees to make sure that they're okay with that out-of-pocket maximum going up. If you want to go to that $1,500 deductible.
Luke, have you seen any of these comparisons? Okay. I've only discussed it with the ladies in the office. I haven't had a chance to discuss it with Dane or anybody
We have
else.
till the middle of December to make a good decision. I mean, we can always, like I said, have that conversation.
Okay,
If you're not making a plan change, it's just a quick signature and we're done. But if you're going to make a plan change, we're still going to have a signature, then have a discussion and go over what needs to be talked about with the employees. But other than that, nothing's really changing. I mean, unfortunately, medical insurance is never going down. Present economy is just the way it's going to be. Haven't had a renewal go down yet this year, which is unfortunate.
yeah. What we're discussing is a renewal of our current plan with Anthem is an 11.25% increase. He's found an alternative Anthem plan that is only an 8.89% increase. And the deductible goes down from $2,500 to $1,500 before the 80/20 kicks in. But the out-of-pocket maximum goes up, is that what it was?
Correct.
Yes.
You're going to go from about $5,000 for an individual up to $6,000. Significant increase, especially if you look at the family plan.
And then the, some of the co-pays for
Your primary care physician is going to go from
25 to 30,
and then your
specialist goes from 50 to 60. So we'd want to run this by the other employees. We want Jay to look at it. Luke, Joe, Damon, Dylan,
Good thing is the deductible for sure, though. You're going
on the
from-
front end before
Yeah,
the 80/20 kicks in.
that definitely helps employees pretty quickly. Less for an individual, it goes from
So we've got
25
till
down to
mid-December?
15.
Yeah,
Okay,
so it doesn't
Family
take
goes
long.
down 2,000.
Small groups are usually pretty quick turnaround, for Anthem to get them out. So.
okay. Well, I don't recommend we make any motions or anything on this tonight. Get this in front of the employees, see what they want to do.
Oh, absolutely. Never make big changes without getting everybody involved. Had some issues like that in the past and it got ugly quick.
Are you agreeable to coming down one day to
Oh, yeah.
talk to everybody?
That's my job.
I can get them together.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll make it happen.
Fine.
All right. Any questions from the board? Billy? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Moore?
Evening.
Evening.
How are y'all doing? I'm on this agenda for some reason. I see. So I guess we're here for an update on both Mulberry Street projects.
I assume you're on here because you asked to be.
No, you said that you would readdress it
Yeah.
at this meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Um,
that's why I'm here.
Alex has had a chance to take a look at the Mulberry Street property that we had previously advertised for bid. And since your bid of 18.5 came in after the bidding had closed, it's rejected. And we would have to open that up for bid again if we wanted to do it that way. Another alternative that Alex gave us was to possibly auction that property off and see how that would go. But
My understanding is we had 60 days from the time it was given. And I actually put that bid in on the 59th day.
wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, well, you can easily go back and find that on the email. I actually did that on purpose because we had 60 days. My understanding was, and I may be wrong, my understanding was we had 60 days from the time that it was offered to make a bid. And I put that offer in on the 59th day.
Well, regardless, it would be my recommendation then, if we need to vote on something, that we reject that bid.
I
And
think it should be redone with either one, the bidding process. I think we ought to just put the new, or 18,000 plus, if that's what his bid is, that we put that in as the minimum bid, or,
I
something.
wouldn't change the minimum, the
okay,
reserve.
that's fine.
I wouldn't change that. And I don't see us doing anything unless the board feels differently with the Mulberry Street property until after the first of the year.
So what's the reason for the decision? You guys have tried to sell it twice. I've been the only bidder both times.
I've gotten some input from the community and
Okay.
from the town employees that they don't want that lot sold.
So you guys have offered it for sale twice. So that don't make sense to me, but I mean, it's totally your guys' decision, but I've offered to bring about $400,000 worth of development downtown Westport. I'm sure that North Vernon, Columbus, Greensburg would be glad to have that development. And it's real easy to do. I mean, I can buy lots all day long for that type of money. So that, I mean, I am doing it for my company, but also this is my hometown. And so we desperately need development in this town. And I mean, I'm not pushing back on the board. I'm just saying that you guys have to think differently. You guys have offered this property for sale twice. I'm the only bidder. And so, I mean, I think that's something that every councilman here needs to hear. You've offered the property twice for sale. And then to come back and tell me that you guys don't want it sold don't make any sense at all. Because you guys have offered it for sale twice.
I gave you my reasons why. I've had input from the community and the town employees about not selling it. So that's my reason.
Right. Yeah.
So,
That reason doesn't make sense because you've already offered it for sale twice.
well, the comments came in after we offered it for sale twice and it didn't sell.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep, it's no problem, bro.
May I ask, can you count how many comments came in? Can you give us that? 2, 3, 4, or 1?
2 or 3.
2 or 3? Yeah.
I've also had input, negative input on it,
Negative being what?
that we should reconsider the selling it for the 18.
Okay. And I didn't know that.
Two things, reconsider selling it for the, lowering the price, and also coming back to keeping the property in case of, we might have a better use for it, maybe turn it into a police station after it's sold. And basically, I'm glad that you're wanting to invest,
Yeah.
but I'm also an elected official. I mean, that has to, I have to
I
listen
get
to
it.
what the constituents
I'm just
say.
going on what the town offered. The town offered to sell the lot. Now you're not offering to sell the lot. So that's totally up to you guys. That's totally within your power.
Well, the window closed and the
After
only
my bid.
bid came in under
That's correct.
the minimum
That is correct.
required
So that's
value.
why we're here, to know whether you're going to accept that bid or reject that bid. And you've rejected it. That's fine.
Should we vote on rejecting the bid?
No, so my understanding when I read the notice stated that it was going to be opened, the bids would be opened at the next town council meeting, which was, I think maybe that 9th of September, if I'm remembering correctly, or second week anyway. So, and also I think the notice indicated that the amount was going to be higher than the bid that came in. So both of those reasons, bid coming in, I think September 25th, after the town council meeting in September, when the public advertisement indicated that that bidding period would close. And also because the bid came in less than the minimum amount, each of those would prevent the council from accepting this offer to purchase. 60 days is under statute. That's, the town just can't leave the bidding process open for longer than 60 days. In this case, it wasn't. The council issued, or the town issued notice, and the bid was open for a couple of weeks.
My understanding, the only loophole, if you don't get any bids, was that we could have reposted it, put public notice out, and requested new bids for, under the appraised amount. And I had brought that up at that council meeting in September.
Yeah, that's right. And so the bid process could be reopened at any point in time. There are alternatives, either auctioning it or working directly with a broker to sell it under certain circumstances under the statute. And we can certainly talk about that if the town decides that it wants to sell the property. But it wouldn't require any formal action tonight because the bid came in after the period of time which bids would be accepted closed. And it came in under the minimum amount that was advertised for bids. So just by operation of law, the bid process was unsuccessful.
The second one is, we had talked about the corner lot, that popular in Mulberry.
I do have a little bit of information on that.
Okay.
I have not communicated with my fellow board members. I've just got numbers. So the reserve price on the Mulberry lot was $22,000, and that would be $2.53 per square foot. That lot's 132 by 66. Your offer was $18,500, that's $2.12 per square foot. The southwest corner of the Old Town Square, if you look at it on GIS, I could pull it up, it's half of a lot. It's 66 by 66, because all those are 66 by 132 in there. That's 4,356 square feet. And at the 253 per square foot, that gives a reserve price of $11,000. If indeed we were to sell it, if we use the $2.12, the JM value, Jeff Moore value is $9,250. So
That being the case, anything over $1,000, we would have to go through that same bidding process that we did with the other lot, because if it's anything of substantial value, we have to do a public notice and put it up for bid. Or an
and
auctioneer.
for my board members, it's the assumption here is on that corner lot, if we were to sell that, it's never been plotted, it's never been surveyed, so there would be some cost we would have to undergo to even make it sellable. I don't have strong feelings either way.
The only, I will basically, the only problem I have is it was when plotted the town, that is the county's, or that is the town square. I do, selling it, I would, Jeff, you talked about using it as a parking lot. I'd be very open to giving you a long-term lease. I just, and I have not gotten much feedback on this. But just historically, it bothers me a little bit. A lease would be, I'd be totally open to it. And if I get feedback from the citizens to sell the property, I'm open to that too. But my own personal I'd lean more towards giving you a long-term lease.
The reason I don't like a long-term lease on that particular piece of property is because if I go there and invest $400,000 and in 15 years from now I retire and I sell the property for $600,000 and there's no parking guaranteed to that property, I have a problem.
At least I would say that we could probably sit down and try to work out
Yeah.
a long-term lease. I mean, I want to work with you, but
Sure,
I can
Yeah.
see issues. I think your currently, your church, Mike Gasper has or has leased the ground with your parking lot and is sharing it. So I'm looking at that as, I think it's worked pretty well over the years. is that would be the type
Yeah,
of
yeah.
lease that would be for both parties, not just one.
So I think some things have changed where the old gas company is.
Mhm.
Could you update the community on
So actually,
what has happened and what your plans are for that?
yeah, so I have bought the old gas company, which is that white top building right there, and all the property in behind it. So what we're wanting
It's
to
not
do
right
is
here.
develop some duplexes in there, and that corner lot that we've been discussing would become parking for those duplexes. It does not work real well without parking over there, because they're gonna be parking on the street, they're gonna be parking in the alley, and it's not gonna work. So there has to be some type of parking over there, if that's to be developed. So,
And I think you've got a dumpster there on
yes.
the north
Yeah, so
side of
we've
the
actually
building.
We've actually cleaned that building out this week.
Okay.
There was a lot of stuff in there.
I think at some point the building is going to come down.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, all of that comes down. Also, the corner garage comes down over there on the
Down
alley.
here?
Yeah, so we'll basically clean that whole lot up. I mean, ultimately, the goal of development is to make Westport better. And there's a lot that we could do to make Westport better.
And I appreciate that. And I've told you before,
Yep,
there's also a profit motive on your end, correct?
absolutely.
Okay.
And
Just
there,
wanted that voiced
and
and
there is
understood.
and there is with any business.
Yes, unless you're not for profit.
That's right. Yeah. And I also have one of those in town, so I understand that aspect too.
All right.
There's no use doing it if you're not gonna make a move.
That's right. Yep. That's actually my retirement package.
Okay.
Yep. I don't get paid a retirement package where I'm at currently. Besides out of this world. You understand that?
I understand that.
So that's where we're at. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Please understand, I'm not trying to be pushy, but I am here as a voice.
Well, and you're moving forward.
Yes, that's right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. We had copies of the ordinance and wage salary back there on the back window. All my council members have got a copy of it here. Under utility worker 1 and 2, there's some highlight there. Reimbursement for alternative medical insurance coverage from August 17th, 2022 through December 20th, 2023, totaling $8,488.16. So that's a carry-on of an agreement from the previous board about an employee that is on Medicare, and rather than carrying him on the town's plan in the past, I think for Darrell Herbert, we paid for his Medicare supplement. I know when Barb Hayden was clerk, we did the same thing for her, and that's what
Under
this.
Rhonda too, because I saw it.
Did we, for Rhonda? Okay. There's some additions on page 2.
Can I ask a question real quick? So,
Can you come up to the
yeah,
microphone?
I just wanted to make sure I understood what you said. So under other benefits, on the second page, number 2, where it says Medicare will be reimbursed at 100% and 65% for employee dependent, that's something that you already had. That's not something new. You just
Correct.
put it in writing.
Correct.
Okay, I just wanted to verify that. Thank you.
Yep, you got it.
All of the other benefits is added in there. We have not had any documentation or policy before. So I felt like that needed to be added to ensure that we are transparent and the employees understand what is offered.
So everything under other benefits is the same.
So this is being presented for first reading tonight. Then we'll do second reading and pass in the December meeting. Does anybody have any questions?
The only concern I will note is that we're paying for expenses up to 23. I'm not seeing any 24 numbers. And I would like to see 25 numbers of reimbursement for to continue into the next year, because that's been a little bit of a problem is we're not getting numbers
Right.
or receipts.
Okay. So The way I'll phrase the motion is that we approve the first reading of ordinance 2024-7. Is that? Somebody like to make that motion for me to
Make a
approve the
motion.
first reading? Okay, I have a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Jenny? Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. All those who are in favor of approving the first reading of ordinance 2024-7 signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. We don't sign anything tonight. ARP funds, we have $15,877 left after allocating $10,000 for pickleball in matching funds. We have yet to get a second estimate for resurfacing the tennis court and relining it for tennis and pickleball, making it a dual use. And the tasers, we got the final estimates on everything from Luke for $9,747.60 to take that out of ARP funds for public safety. Do we need to vote on any of this tonight, Gloria?
You have not made any official votes on it, so if you want to say, yes, this is exactly what we're doing, I think it would be good.
Alex, any comments?
No, I agree. I would take it in two separate votes, depending on what it is that you're going to be spending it on. So if it's that you want to spend funds on the pickleball matching fund, I would indicate that in a vote and then have a separate vote on a different item if you want to spend money on a separate line item, just so that the minutes are clear.
Okay, let's take the taser first. I think that's easiest. Yes?
Little bit of feedback. Mike said that All-Star is not interested in bidding. I talked to O'Mara. They were going to come up and look at it. And they were supposed to have a bid in on the pickleball court. They did not. The first bid that we had from O'Mara was tremendously high. So I am, as it stands right now, I lean towards the opinion that neither one of the other two are interested in bidding it. And that pretty well cuts down on where we can get additional bids.
I would like to continue to try, at least to get a second one
I-
with the spec that we've got.
I really have no problem with it. I just don't, like I say, I've been working with Mike and back and forth on it, but that, and O'Mara might come in with a bid. I don't know. Because basically Mike's in charge of it, but I've been talking to,
Let's go ahead. I'd like to have a vote on the tasers, that we approve that for expending out of the ARP funds. I'll make the motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Jenny?
got a question.
Yeah.
Are we had talked about setting that on payments or paying it, either, which one are we voting on? I'll vote yes on it. I just like to know which one.
The full price, but the payments weren't any different than the full price, if I recall correctly. Yeah, it was the same amount.
Okay,
So we're going to flow it.
okay.
So I have a motion that I made. Jenny has seconded. All those in favor of the tasers at 9747.60 indicate by saying aye, please. Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Pickleball, I would like to continue to get another estimate, but I would like to protect this 10,000 as well for this purpose. So we go ahead.
That is a motion to, okay.
Set aside
Alex can
10,000.
correct me, or you can correct me. Make a motion that the 10,000 matching fund is reserved for the pickleball court with the hopes that we get a second or even a third estimate on the property.
Because the 10,000 is not enough to cover
What
the
is
balance
looking
from
at,
what the Kiwanis has a grant, but it is what we committed to
right,
in a gentleman's
It-
agreement.
the last I heard, we had tentatively, which I don't like saying what Mike's got, but I think he's got another 7,000 plus grant.
Okay.
Tentative. I want to
Okay.
make sure I put tentative on it. I think it will go through, but everything's tentative anymore.
But this puts the town with some skin in the game. It doesn't put us in as the major player. It puts us in as a helper. And I think that's appropriate. And either we get more bids to get the price down, so this does make up the difference, or we find another grant or another organization to come in and, make up the difference. So I'll entertain a motion that we reserve 10,000 of the ARP funds for pickleball matching funds.
Did Russell just make the motion?
Did you make the
I
motion?
made the motion.
Russell made the motion. Okay, I'll take a second then. You okay with that?
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay, got Jenny for a second. All those in favor of the pickleball matching funds at 10,000, it signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Okay. And that leaves us with another 15,877. Gloria, do you want to give a Cliff Notes version of what we can do with that? If,
Sure. The previous council had already put a resolution into place that any ARP funding not dedicated for a particular project would be applied back into the general budget. Anybody that received under $1 million in ARP is permitted to put that back in as revenue lost during the year that we had COVID. So we had already applied some of the funding last year back into the budget. And then this year, if there's any funding left, I will apply it back into the budget. So it will be absorbed into our general fund and we technically have not lost it. That being the case, I had also suggested if we cannot figure this pickleball thing out by the end of the year, because I have to have paperwork that says we are paying 10,000 to this person by this time, by December 31st, we may just have to absorb this 10,000 back into the budget to be earmarked for the pickleball court next year and then reappropriate the funds when we are at a time where we can spend that 10,000 and it'll be there in the budget.
there's a way to do it and we're not going to lose anything. All right. Damon.
I don't have much this evening. The project's come to an end here at the paving and sidewalks. Today they started fixing I shouldn't say fixing, completing the 2 drains down here at Range in Maine. The holdup there was we had to have 2 drains that were handicap compliant. So we had to order them, but they did come in. They installed those today. So hopefully nobody drives on them tonight while the concrete's setting up. I don't have to be redone. They did get the wall capped last week. About the only thing left is just a couple of punch list items, and that'll be coming to a close. On the sewer project, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, the 13th, I think, is when they're doing their drive around, their videotaping and all that. And December 2nd is when they'll actually, 2nd or 9th, they'll actually mobilize, coming in and start delivering and setting up.
Actually breaking.
Yeah, I'm breaking ground, so.
Yes. Thank you.
No, you're fine. I just want to make sure
But
everybody
you've
else
given
is
them
clear.
authorization to start.
Correct,
construction
yeah.
phase.
I just want to make everybody else clear that December is when everything will actually start getting busy and
See some-
all the new headaches coming in town. So, other than that, I think we're getting things caught up and getting done, so.
Sure.
Now, Damon, there in front of the post office, handicap spot, is there going to be a sign?
Yeah, I had
Because the paint that they put on there is so dark, you can't see it.
yeah, that's, the paint, when you use community crossing money, the paint you have to use is a thermal paint. It's reflective and it's 420 degrees when it goes down. And, so that blue is a really dark blue. It is hard to
Yeah.
see, but I did, have a post made with a plate on it where we can bolt it down. It did come in. I had got it painted. It just come in last week. It hasn't been painted yet. I'm painting it black. So it looks nice. It is in the barn. We're gonna try to get it painted this
Okay.
week. And we ordered a stencil to paint there for that high step. It is within compliance. Compliance is 10 inches. I know it is an inch and a half higher than it was. So we're just going to go ahead and paint that yellow with black letters, watch your step, or I can't remember what the stencil says that the engineers ordered. But those first few stalls there, we are going to go ahead and paint those since they're a little bit higher than they was. But yes, there will be a handicap sign there for everybody for that spot, because that blue paint is very difficult to see. I agree.
It's even harder when it's raining.
Yes, it's supposed to be reflective, but I noticed in the rain that blue, it doesn't seem very reflective, does it? But the rest of
Where are
it,
you gonna put that post?
on the curb, but where the handicap spot is, right, it's going to go right where it was, but it was in the concrete. We're just going to bolt it on the concrete.
Okay, so there was a sign there.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was a sign
I
there.
didn't know, I just thought it was just paint.
No, there was already a sign there. We're going to just put it back instead of it being in the concrete. We're going to bolt it to it. So that way if anybody hits it or something happens, we can easily replace it instead of tear the concrete
I
out.
guess it's been gone for so long.
Yeah, it's been, we took it out when they tore the sidewalks out. So.
And I just thought of this. It was last week sometime, the mapping project that the county was going to do that we were going to participate in, did they happen to be down here? I saw a car go through Lincoln Street and it looked like one of these Google Earth cars.
That was Google. I don't think that was.
It was it was like at dusk or after dark though. I didn't.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
kinda
know if that
weird.
was, I hadn't heard back from county that they actually got the go ahead to do that. So I don't, Tim's usually pretty good about.
So we don't know that they've been in town or not.
Right.
Okay.
I think that was actually Google Earth doing that one, but I did see that. But they
Anybody
were-
else see that? Happen to see it? Kelly, you saw it?
Yeah, it was after dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they was here during the day too. They was here quite a bit that day. They was here after dark too, but it could have been. I'll try to give Tim a call this week and ask him, but he hadn't got back with me and said they'd actually got approved to move ahead. I know we give him the okay on our end, but I think they were still waiting on St. Paul and New Point to make sure they was on board with their part. So I hadn't heard.
Interesting, if you get online and you look up Google Earth, you can see where the car is going to be. It'll tell you what counties, what state, where it's going to be. Because I saw it earlier, I think in August, and that piqued my curiosity. So I got on there and they were doing all of Bartholomew County and part of Jennings County. They didn't have Decatur on the list, but maybe it is now. Maybe they're ahead of schedule. That's kind of cool.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
They went into my gate. In the front.
In your gate. Give me a call tomorrow, and if it just needs gravel or something, I'll bring it down to you. I didn't realize there was a
One
drop there.
limestone left. Oh, wait.
Okay, give me a call or text tomorrow, and we'll put it on the punch list. Yeah, I didn't realize you still had a drop off there. We'll fix that. If it just needs gravel or something, we'll bring some down there. Okay. There's something else I was just gonna say. We didn't meet tonight, but all the lights are in. We're in here. We'll get them in as soon as we can. The lights are in for the front room and the fans. The only ones we don't have is the ones for the kitchen, which we'll get them here in the next couple of weeks. But as soon as I can get time, we'll get them all installed. And you can see Connie and Gloria and them, they work together, or somebody. I'm not sure who gets the credit there. They got the tables and chairs in. We'll get those. We've just been really busy lately, so we're a little behind. We're trying to get caught up, but we'll get them all unboxed and put away, and we're getting there. We're trying to get caught up, so just bear with us, and we'll get things caught up here soon.
Have we made a decision on the chairs? No, the floor department would probably like to have some of them.
Okay. We haven't, but I don't see that as a problem. Connie and I was talking before the meeting. The capacity in here is 330. And of the new chairs, the white ones, we have 200 and some odd, 28 tables times 8 chairs per table. And then it was an additional 106 chairs to get us to the 330. So we'd probably keep 110, and then we'd look at doing something else with the balance of the metal chairs.
I just saw it, I didn't know,
56.
Damon had talked about it or anything.
Oh, no, that's not my, that's the girls' decision there. I'll let them take care of that. I just haul them off anytime I get rid of them. Or the ladies, I'm sorry, not girls, the ladies, the
Young girls.
yeah. Yeah, young girls.
John, if the fire department is interested in some of those chairs, just let us know. Okay? Yeah, Carolyn?
There was concern about the cemetery. Is everything done there?
Yeah, we opened it back up yesterday before last, or
There's
yesterday.
still post on Facebook.
Yeah, yeah, it's open back. It was opened up for Veterans Day.
Yeah, the cemetery was closed. They were doing some sealing
Yeah,
in there, but it got opened back up.
we opened up yesterday evening.
All right? Luke, are you here to talk about the new officer? Have all my board members seen the resume of this guy?
Pretty impressive resume. Chris has been in law enforcement over 30 years. I believe it's 36 years. Currently serves Bartholomew County on the prosecutor's office with adult services. In Joe's absence, we like help from somebody qualified. Chris is a very qualified guy. He would like to come on and join us part-time. And moving forward, we don't know, how long he'll be here. With a resume like his, he could go somewhere else pretty quick, but he's wanting to come on part-time, help us out while Joe's gone, and maybe stay on. We just don't know that right now.
My thoughts on this were, and Gloria's looked at it, we do have the money in the budget. We can afford somebody for part-time. 20 hours per week is what I would recommend.
Okay.
And I think we agreed on $22 per hour. And revisit in 4 months.
Okay.
That gets us well into next year.
Yep.
Gives Joe plenty of time to heal. And we get a guy with some pretty significant experience to cover some patrol hours. Any questions for Luke from any of the other board members?
Don't think it'd hurt a thing to have an extra policeman available.
Yeah.
Why is he interested in Westport?
Him and Joe have had a relationship together. I think they've worked a few cases together in Bartholomew County, and he's helped out in Decatur County as well.
Gotcha.
From my knowledge, I don't know too
Okay.
much, just what me and Joe have discussed about him wanting to work here and help out.
Yeah, I talked to
Okay.
Joe and I got the feeling that this guy's a known quantity. Kristen Weisner is his name. He is currently an investigator for Adult Protective Services out of the Bartholomew County Prosecutor's Office. So his 20-hour part-time over here would be, no disrespect, a moonlight thing to help cover some patrol hours. What would we be looking at? So I'll make a motion that we approve a temporary position here for 4 months at $22 an hour for Kristen Weisner.
Who,
Okay, got a second from Russell. Any other questions for Luke? All in favor of this, indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Before you go, Luke, a couple weeks ago, Dolores Honeycutt and I asked the sheriff to come down to talk to us during office hours. And it was lost on me how that could be interpreted by you guys. And I want to apologize. It was not intended to be a slap in the face. Honestly, my intention was to get you guys some help. And I think that was Dolores's intention as well. I don't want to speak too much for her, but I do want to apologize publicly. The sheriff had nothing but good things to say about you and Joe. And I talked to Joe on the phone just the other day and told him the same thing. And I do apologize. I respect you guys. I like seeing you around. And I do wish Joe a speedy recovery. He and I go way back on the previous board. I was president when he became town marshal. So I do apologize, and I promise to do better at respecting our department.
Apology
Okay.
accepted.
All right, thank you. All right, we're at the end of the agenda. Open it up to the public for 3 minutes of fame for anyone who'd like to speak. Sandy, come on up.
I was actually going to talk about something else, but I'm going to save that for the next meeting. I've got a question on the agenda. So it says ARP funds 15,877 on today's agenda. So that includes approximately $20,000 for the pickleball court and the taser. So before the meeting, you had about 35,000. The last agenda said there was 53,000 in ARP funds, and nothing was voted on to spend it in the last meeting. So how did it go from 53,000 to 35,000?
I can give you a line item list of what has come in invoice-wise, if you would like to have that. Because we're starting to get the invoices. Some of the hydrant, like the hydrant invoice, we got that. In October, we got the flooring paid for, so we got that invoice. So I calculated our exact amount that we had, and I've subtracted what invoices have come in. And then for the sake of preparing for this meeting, I also calculated the estimate for the tasers that we got like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then also the pickleball matching. So if you would like to take this, you're welcome to take this itemized list here.
Sure, I'd appreciate that.
Okay. You can get
And
it.
then another question that I have. And I completely understand what you said earlier about if there's money left in the ARPA fund, that you'll put it in the general fund, and then you could earmark 10,000 for pickleball. Well, if we don't end up spending the entire amount in the ARPA funds, because it looks like right now there's only $15,000 less, would there be a reason why the town wouldn't want to spend more money on the pickleball court? Maybe not the entire 15,000, but another 5,000 versus just putting it into the general fund for whatever use next year.
It's going to depend on where the other estimates came in, and that's why I want to try to get some more.
Okay.
The
I mean, I'm not really
10,000
saying I'm for the pickleball or
The
against it, but I
10,000
didn't
was a
know.
gentleman's agreement between Mike Gasper and myself. And I think that makes sense. It
Mhm.
feels measured and the right amount. And, I could be convinced to try to lobby for more if the well is absolutely dry on getting any other estimates. And, I could be lobbied for
Okay.
more, but I wanted to, this is what's on paper.
Okay. Like I said, I never even thought about this today until it was mentioned that
Yeah.
it would go back into the general fund. So that was just my thinking of why, if that 10,000 was a set in stone, if there was still 15,000 left. So, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Walter, come on up.
I thought you'd be first.
No, you beat me.
Oh, ladies first.
The only question I have is, you're saying they're gonna start the sewer project. Where are they starting at?
I don't know if they're starting at the lift station or if they're starting out at the lagoons. I don't know.
I will have to.
We can find out.
It's going right through my property, and I'm just trying to figure out if it's gonna be tore up all summer.
They're not gonna start there first. Do the lift station or sewer, we're not doing that section.
Okay, all right, that's all I'm worried.
To the best of my knowledge, let me correct that.
Oh, yeah, you're in trouble now.
Yeah,
I heard we were doing
phase
that.
one is the lift
It's the lift
station
station.
and putting in the SIGAR system at the treatment plant. That's all phase one is.
Correct.
The piping and all of that was later due to costs.
Phase 2 was questioned.
Yeah.
Right.
There is a new forced main between the lift station and the lagoon that's going in as well. So it's all going to be down there at the south end of town by the locker plant, by Russell's and everything. All right. Anybody else?
I have another quick
Okay,
question.
make it quick.
Okay. I see on this sheet that you gave me, it says the beginning balance for the ARPA funds was 142,957. I thought it was 170 something thousand in the budget.
I'm not sure what you're looking at, but that's our starting balance for this year.
Okay, I thought I got it off of which I don't have in front of me, but I thought I got it off of the budget that was passed out at the end of last year and approved.
I don't
So,
know, you would have to show me. That might have been what was applied to last year's budget. Because
okay,
we had a total of about 304,000 total.
right, and I know we
And
spent
that might
half
be
of
what
it.
was applied last year to the budget. That amount sounds about like what maybe that was.
Okay, well, I'll go home and look at my records, and then I'll probably shoot you an email or something.
Yeah,
'cause-
or stop by town hall, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right, anybody else? Going once, going twice? Are you serious?
Nobody else talks, Walter and I.
Yeah, really?
Talk more than once.
On the property down there by me, I'm talking about the corners. Anything gonna be done about them? I know the Westport Business Association owns one of them now. And then we still got Toller across the street piling more stuff in. Is anything gonna be done? 'Cause we still got the druggies on the corner, the business association.
I don't know where the ordinance violations are at this point, Walter. I'll have to look at it and get back with you.
But it ain't getting no better.
Okay? All right,
What's cleaning up now?
okay,
One more turn too then.
all right.
No, real quick, the dump transfer, the 30th, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, it will be closed. Because being that weekend, we don't have anybody to work it, being a holiday, so we are going to close the 30th. It will not be open. So everybody knows.
And for those that use our transfer service down here, affectionately known as the dump, they've had a sign out for a couple weeks now saying, we're going to be closed on the 30th. So I've known for quite a while. I take my trash down there. So, all right. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
From Russell. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay. I'll third it. You got to be quicker than that. We have a motion to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.
I nodded my head at her for her to do it.